Hello.
We're
Hello.
back. Another week.
So,
So,
so to
So?
follow up
we
on
started
next,
late today
yes,
because
Whoops.
Jules Rabbit took a shit apparently.
Well, I clean his toilet
Yes.
daily because it kind of needs to happen every day.
No man, why does it shit?
I don't know,
That-
just
that-
teach him
that's-
to flush or something.
Yeah, exactly. This really sounds like a you problem that could be solved.
Well, I am solving the problem every day. I could do it every other day, but there is this little thing called flies, and they tend to, lay eggs. And I'd rather not have a fly lay a bunch of eggs in my rabbit's shit, which my rabbit has to sit in, and then have a lot of trouble with eggs.
But
How reasonable.
Yeah.
How dare
last week, we complained about still not having a government, and then literally 2 minutes after our recording, it was they revealed that we do have one.
Yeah, which it's still a minority coalition, so
Yes, but hey, to be fair, at least they were pretty quick with it, relatively speaking.
yeah. However, the plans that they had, in my opinion, were
Well,
not that good.
I got them in front of me right now.
You
'Cause
mean
all
like
I've heard so far is that they're gonna cut back on medical stuff, except for people with
chronic illnesses? Because
chronic illnesses, and that they want to raise the retirement to like 72 years old.
well, that's a bit of a peculiar thing. And what it is right now, or at least since 2019, is that it's been per like 1 year longer of life, like an extra year of life to a person to people, because they tend to live longer, and that adds 8 months to the retirement age. They want to up that from 8 months to a year. So each year that you live longer, you have to spend another year working. Yeah, they're not gonna get that done at all because nobody's going to agree with that.
Okay, so I have it in front of me right now. And one thing that is apparently important to them is being more productive. Which means at least they're reflecting on themselves.
Be more
You mean, like,
productive.
as in the government needs to be more
Yes.
productive.
Yes.
With a VVD? Good luck.
Well, I mean, at least we have more stability in our wallets now.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
wanna-
considering
they
they're gonna
wanna
be
just
empty.
and they want to just keep it simple, doable, and predictable.
Well, doing nothing
Which,
is predictable.
Well, I mean, the previous government did not reach the middle one, so that's something.
Well, doing nothing is also really stable.
No, not really at this moment.
Well, it is one of the most stable forms because nothing happens. So yeah, although we are in a time where we need change, and considering the way we're going, I'm not sure about those changes. But that could be me, and that's my opinion, which you can listen to.
I mean, at this point, barely. I don't think many people have any faith in the government.
Why are they talking about soccer?
Who?
The fucking coalition, like, contract, no, not contract, fucking coalition thing. The agreement.
Why would they be calling? Why?
Hold on, let me translate real quick. The bond with Aruba, Curacao, and Sint Maarten, which are, part of the Netherlands,
Yeah.
makes the Netherlands a lot bigger than just a country at the sea. At the World Cup Soccer 2026, the
Yeah.
kingdom will for the first time have 2 teams.
So it's just gonna be split
This
into 2 now.
Is this
this
just another
grants a lot of
excuse to
opportunities.
increase our chance of actually
It,
winning something?
this gives apparently can give more opportunities to strengthen our community and our economics.
I guess.
What?
I mean, it is true.
I'm not. Maybe? But it's weird to put your government thing, on a sport.
Yeah, we need priorities, okay? And this
S-
sounds like a great one.
Yeah,
I'm not
probably
a fan of soccer, so.
would be a somewhat decent distraction from all the other stuff that is or isn't happening.
They want effective punishments for crime.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
I thought that was already the point of it, but.
Well,
okay.
until recently, it wasn't illegal to stay here illegally.
This should be an interesting section, probably.
What
How do
section?
I translate this? Wait, hold on. What would be the correct English word for nuchter? Fucking.
Sober.
Well, not in that sense. Like, you mean like as in like.
I mean, he's not wrong. It is
No,
the
but-
correct term.
Yes, but that's not what they mean here. They mean like thinking, like critical thinking. Fucking
Yeah, that's rare as well. Critical thinking.
true. Whatever. They're gonna reevaluate the laws surrounding drugs, gambling, and sex work.
So either they're going to allow more of it, or they're going to completely ban it, which will probably cause a prohibition-like effect.
They want to protect vulnerable people in those sectors.
Which is good, especially with the
Soft
whole...
drugs are regulated.
That is also a good thing, because
Okay, my
otherwise
only
people would
issue with
use it.
that is that some things that are labeled as hard drugs here in the Netherlands are not hard drugs at all. Like, alcohol is one of the most dangerous substances in the world, and that shit's legal. So,
Yeah. And then people find it weird when you say, oh yeah, I don't drink.
yeah.
That surprises me every single day. Like, you say that you don't drink, and they immediately think like, oh, why? Of like, oh, okay, I respect your choices. They immediately almost become defensive. Like, how dare you not indulge in our collective addiction to a brain-damaging substance?
Big festivals are gonna be that. Yeah. Big festivals have to make a drug prevention plan.
Somewhat good, actually. Like-
they're
A
raising.
lot of people just go to festivals because of drugs, so that does not seem like it would boast well.
They're raising the minimum age of sex workers from 18 to 21.
Also good.
Wait,
Wait.
what the fuck? Hold on. Uitzendprogramma's voor wie vrijwillig wil stoppen met sekswerk worden voortgezet. What?
You sound confused.
So, yes, because I feel like this should just be a standard thing.
What?
So people who want to quit with their sex work, right?
Yeah.
Who want to, okay, it specifically says willingly quit. That's gonna continue. How do I translate this? Hold on.
Like, if you willingly quit sex work, that should just be it, right? You should just say, I quit, and then you should be able to walk away from it.
Hold on.
Of course, we all know that ain't that simple, but...
Outing program. There we fucking go. Outing programs for who wants to willingly stop with sex work are gonna continue. Why would you not be able to willingly do that?
Well, it is a program, so some people are in it in such a way that it's hard for themselves to say,
Oh, as in if they
I
have like
quit.
if they have like a contract.
Yes.
You can quit contracts usually.
Yeah, but sometimes those contracts are like a bit of
Bush, what are you doing?
placing a lot of boats first, and I'm gonna alter them into aircraft carriers because that is surprisingly overpowered.
Well, the big one is overpowered.
A
Please
lot
don't
of
fill
small.
the entire thing with aircraft carriers. We need space.
Yes, space for more boats.
Wait, hold on. They're gonna completely ban.
Joel, I don't have
Adver-
enough things
They're gonna
now.
completely ban advertisements for online gambling.
That is a very, very good thing. Yes, please.
Finally.
Like, that is such a. That's actually a really good and great thing to do. Like, because you know all those ads. I have an idea on what they could also do, but that would probably not turn out well. Because, you know, for example, Formula One. They have sponsors. A lot of sponsorships on those, or some of them, are gambling or crypto stuff. If they aren't allowed to if you aren't allowed to advertise those here, are you still allowed to have them as sponsorships?
Not if you're a Dutch company, probably.
Well, if you're an overseas company, you'll probably still be able to, because why not? But still.
You know, unless you're Britain, then you can enforce your laws on the entire world, apparently.
Yeah, their whole digital stuff is just bad. Like, you having to show your ID for a lot of, like, your actual ID, and you just have to show it on the internet because, yeah, is bad. Like, surprisingly bad.
They're gonna basically give some more, what's it called? Not really authority. I guess more perms to, the law on, fucking, on, why am I fucking blacking out? I'm translating Dutch to English. What the fuck? Information and safety. That's what it is. Fucking. So, because so basically the new law is gonna focus a lot more on threat, while the older one was purely based off information. That's a terrible explanation. Why am I?
It's gonna be more active instead of preventative.
Yes.
Which, for online, should be the case. Because having it preventative is just bad in a lot of ways. All you're saying is, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Call us when it happened.
The MIVD and the AIVD are going to get more perms. So that kind of ties into the other one.
Yeah, otherwise, you could also say just call us when you've been sexually assaulted, instead of actually preventing it from happening.
They're gonna look better at cybersecurity.
Good. Although they should do it in such a way that it makes it difficult for the people with knowledge to do stuff, instead of just making it impossible for the rest of the people to do anything because everything is blocked.
Cybercriminals with clear ties to the Russian regime are gonna be put on the European sanction list.
Imagine getting personally sanctioned. That would be one of the biggest fuck yous to ever exist.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it would be legally troubling at all.
Like, instead of a company or a country being sanctioned, no, it's specifically you. That just sounds funny to me. Yeah, I have some weird news, which is also good news. And it's regarding China, for once, in a positive way.
Can we... I mean,
Wait,
I just noticed that this document is actually really fucking long.
Well, we'll get to some other documents further in the podcast, because there is some shit to talk about with those. But what I first want to talk about is car door handles, because China banned the ones that sit flush with the car. Because as you've noticed with like modern cars, especially towards the luxury segment, they've sort of hidden the door handles within the car itself. And in China, that has resulted in multiple casualties with people getting stuck inside of their burning cars. So China was like,
inside?
Yes, you're inside the car catches fire, the door handles can't, like people on the outside can't get to the door handles because they're flush with the car. So people can't get you out. Which leads to...
Why would it be flush on the inside? But, okay.
No, it's like on the outside of the car, because aerodynamics.
Yeah.
So China has banned them, which is a good thing, considering what's going to be happening is the people that, the car companies, they make cars. However, they also have to, in China has a lot of cars. A lot of Chinese companies sell cars to like the EU and everything, and not to the US, because they once again banned cars made in China, because they can't compete with them, and instead of properly competing with innovation and technology, they just banned the competition. The American way.
Yes.
But with this, car companies might actually, like, especially towards the EU, they're probably gonna have to start changing door handle designs to where they actually, not sit flush with the car, but properly, have a specified amount that it can protrude out of the thing. So, you actually have a chance to grab it, instead of, slowly burning on the inside of your car, because, yeah. So that is good news from China, because they understand that, it's also great for cold weather, because let's say it's freezing outside and it has been raining, so your car is frozen completely. Now take that example and try to grab a flush door handle. Good luck, because it's flush to the car and there's a layer of ice frozen over it. So that's the neat part. You don't. which will then result in
Okay.
you being locked out of your car by cold weather.
Okay, I've read a little further. Sticks. Oh, yeah, that is not an English word. The
Nitrogen.
nitrogen reduction. Why was I gonna say it in Dutch? Probably because it's on my screen. Anyway, okay, so I agree with what they say here. I am very curious how, because they don't seem to mention that. But the goals for 2035 are 42% to 46% less NH3 in comparison to 2019. All this is gonna be like based off 2019. 50% less, or that one is specifically for the
Worthy?
I know the word.
Yeah, the.
Fucking
It's gonna be for the.
for the farmers. That's not the word I was looking for, but I'm gonna go with it. 50% less NH3 for the industry, and 50% less NOx for mobility. And for the farmers, like for the fucking, what's that sector called? Why am I this stupid? I know the word.
The agricultural.
That's what it is.
Agricultural sector, yeah. That one.
There's an in-between goal for 2030 set for 23 to 25% less. It does not mention how they're going to achieve this, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
But at least there's a goal.
Yeah, and in big cities, there is a great way to reduce pollution there immediately, or at least very quickly. And it is already partially it is already within Amsterdam and within London, and that is low emission zones. Because that means that you take the worst polluting cars that exist and simply remove them. Exchange them for more environmentally friendly cars that don't suffer from the same problems and pollutions. So that's also quite a good thing to have. A less polluting city center, which means cleaner air. Because in London, it has resulted in it actually being within the limit of, certain. No, I'm not sure what kind of pollutant it was, but it was within the limits, within the legal limits, instead of being above it.
Oh, okay, wait. I found where they talk about how at least partially they want to achieve it.
How do they want to partially achieve it?
They wanna focus more on getting energy from our own country because well, some of the other places we get it from are not exactly reliable at this moment.
So, bro, let's try the challenge.
So, what is the challenge?
The 3 towers that are marked.
They're gonna...
Like, we're only allowed to use those? Is that the
deal? That's the deal.
They're gonna continue investing in, like, windmills over, like, on the sea.
Yeah.
I can place a lot more, though. Or do we just lose if we do?
You lose the challenge.
I see. Okay.
Does it say anywhere anything about, like, new nuclear power plant? Because I know there's plans for that. Oh, there. We're gonna strengthen the nuclear cluster in the Netherlands. Increase the speed for the SMR. What's the SMR program?
No idea.
Maritieme nucleaire innovaties. Like underwater? That's what I...
Is it
What's what I
under
think.
or above the water? Because above water
Well,
nuclear
well,
power.
Maritieme nucleaire innovaties.
Yeah, so that's
So
basically water.
the...
Which,
Yeah, no, that is kind of just unspecified.
yeah. But to be fair, nuclear powered ships exist already. They're
That's not what they
incredibly.
mean here, Joe.
Yes, but it would massively reduce carbon emissions because do you know how dirty cruise ships are?
Yes, I am well aware.
You know, they sometimes when they're in port for like days, multiple
I
days,
know.
they keep their engines running to supply the ship with power. So, if you replace that with a nuclear reactor, then boom, congratulations, you now have...
And I don't know how many people would go on board still, but
Well, considering it would be... When have you ever gone close to the engine room of a ship?
if it explodes, doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter how close you are.
We can build reactors that even if they were to melt down, that they go into a failsafe where it automatically prevents the ship or prevent like an explosion. We can build reactors with like not specifically uranium, but probably thorium, which requires a different material to actually react properly. You need a little bit of plutonium for it to properly kick off. That means that what's going to happen is quite simple. You're going to have the...
Wow.
You're going to have the... Yes. If it gets too hot, you simply have a bottom that melts away, separating the two, stopping the reaction. So that's all that would happen. Like, oh no, we're going into meltdown. Let the reactor do its thing. And oh no, the reaction is stopped.
I'm not gonna read everything, so I'm not gonna read this part because it's way too long. But the title is very ambitious.
What?
The strongest economy in Europe. Actually, now that I think about it, it's not even. I don't. It might not be that ambitious because we are already one of the strongest, I think.
Because we just have arch ships.
Well, not really in terms of cope power anymore. Like, what is it in English? Buying power?
I don't think it's that.
No, but I don't know what it is.
It's basically what you can buy with the money you have.
Yes.
Which is somewhat of a good metric to see how good a country is doing. Like, for example, take like €1. How much can you buy? And if it remains around the same, then that's good. Prices might, go up. You might need to change the metric to how much can you get for €2 instead of 1, because it is not enough to do it with the other stuff. But that's not really a problem.
Okay, they're gonna increase the money that we send to NATO.
That
That's
was
good.
already within the. There was already a bit of a deal, so. So that's not a big surprise.
But since when do we keep deals?
Not sure, but I mean, we're in NATO, so we should probably keep, our promises that we've made.
Maybe.
Would
And
potentially
of course,
be.
more money to military in general.
Yeah, that's to be expected. They
I
doesn't
mean,
the
that's fair enough considering the current world stages.
yeah. Doesn't the current coalition want to
Ooh, okay. They want to get a wait, what does this mean? Because that does not sound like a lot.
they want to get A? They want to get what do they want to get? What do they want?
They want a scalable like manpower in the military
Yeah.
of 122,000 people, but that does not sound like a lot. So I'm not completely.
Well,
Is
they're
there an entire
also
army? Surely not.
they're also potentially thinking of getting the
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get to.
making it mandatory to have like 1 year within the army.
They're gonna introduce, as a first step, in I can't. Why the fuck is my Dutch to English not working today?
Your language is not languaging properly.
Yeah. A mandatory enquête. So wait, is it
Survey.
Enquête English word? Wait, do they have that survey? Yeah. And for I was about to say children. It's not for children.
Depends on how old you are when you get enlisted, I guess.
I suppose. And if this does not give good enough results, then they may introduce a selective
They're probably gonna go for like a select. They're probably just gonna be like, all right, we have this bunch of people. We're just gonna select the most fit ones for the military and pick those.
Yeah, so because I'm really curious what selective means here.
I have no idea.
Like selective based on what?
Performance.
Yeah,
right,
probably.
So strength, endurance, intelligence.
All right then.
Performance.
Well, you are intelligence, and strength can be. You can be made strong.
Strength and endurance can be things that is trainable. However, what isn't trainable is a disability.
No, you should be fine.
I should be more than fine.
Well, they could put you behind like a drone controller at most.
Well, then I could just sit. If I could sit at the back and just engineering shit, like just shove me into an office, say, go design stuff.
Here's the thing, though. You say I'm intelligent, but I'm also autistic and I have ADHD. Does that, is that a thing in the army? I mean, I know we watched Forrest Gump, but I'm not completely sure how real that would be.
Yeah.
Because teamwork.
So the challenge is over now.
Yeah.
Like, because teamwork is very important in the military. And it's not that I can't do teamwork, it's that if I am in a team, you need to tell me what to do. Because in a team, I'm unsure who is going to do what and what I'm meant to do.
The army does. Or
no, because you need to improvise a lot.
You need to improvise, but you also get like, here, you do this, you do that. Like, if you have a proper leader within your group, then you will likely just be told, oh yeah, do this. You go do that task. You go do that task. That means you do get told what you need to do. But yes, improv is a big thing in the army as well. So in that scenario, you'd be slightly fucked. That is if you are even selected.
Unlikely, quite honestly. I mean, again, depends on what they're selecting on, I suppose.
Yes. Like, I'm safe. Apart from maybe, like, brains. Where they say, oh yeah, you're smart. Well, go with that program, or here, have a drone. Which, if I get a drone, I hope I'm not gonna be put that close to the front lines. You know, I'd rather be safe. Because as we've seen in Ukraine, drones are dangerous.
You know how
Not that kind of drone show.
You know how some ranks still, like in the army, still wear like a sword as like a decorative kind of thing, like a like a status thing.
You just want to rush in with a sword.
If I befriend one of them, I would challenge them.
Jim, you would be the one that charges into a battlefield with a sword.
No, because I'm not fast enough to parry bullets.
Wait,
But
just
you would be stupid enough to try?
No.
you sneak, Jim. You sneak behind enemy lines.
There's snipers for that. Well, no, that's not necessarily true, actually.
And then use your sword.
Oh!
If dumb bullshit works in D&D, it should work in real life.
I don't think that's how that works.
No, because in real life, it's not in turns.
That is true.
Although it would be very funny. Just Fire Emblem it in real life. Just be like, I have not moved that unit yet.
Yeah, like hold on, let me do my move first.
Hold up, I need to tell that guy to switch to armor piercing round, just in case you move that tank closer.
Yeah, in reality, you could do a little bit with that, but it wouldn't be turn-based, it would be quick time events.
Yeah.
That would be it. It would actually be quick time events. Like, I'm not even kidding. That would be it.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna stop reading this thing now. I'm about halfway through it. But, like,
I
it's
think
a
you've
lot.
gotten further than the average Dutch population.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really read all of it, right? Like, I kind of scanned through it.
But
Which is still probably more than average Dutch population.
it is a nice segue
Definitely.
to...
Because most people are only gonna talk about that they're gonna raise the retirement to 72 and complain about it.
Yes,
Well,
but
yes, it is kind of ridiculous too.
I do
I'm
have
not
something...
In France, I think it's still at like 60,
yes.
low 60 something.
I know.
65
and I'm
or 67?
honestly not sure how their economy lives.
Well, considering that it's the French, what do you expect from them?
I don't know.
But also, you just read a document. But there are different documents, a lot of them, that have also been released. Which
You
contain...
mean ones with a lot of very pretty black lines over them.
yes.
Not too bad this time around. Not too bad.
Well,
Oh, wait, actually, yeah, I did hear about that.
they dropped another round, and... wow. The amount of memes I've seen.
Yeah, that's why I knew about it.
Especially regarding something which did catch me off guard a little bit, actually. FNAF.
Yeah, but
What?
I am honestly not sure that's real. Like, surely that's not real.
I didn't believe it in the beginning, but more and more has come out that shown that not only
No.
was he interested in not safe for work source filmmaker animations,
That is not...
but was also a part of the community itself. I've now
Honestly,
seen
I'm not that
multiple people
surprised,
talk about it.
considering it's FNAF.
The community is just a bunch of
So-
psychopaths, so that doesn't surprise me, but
So
that it's...
even he is gonna live on in the memes.
Yes. Wait, does that mean he always comes back?
It means that his memes don't end here.
Means that it means that his memes have only just started memeing.
Like, it's just... Also, cars have been mentioned, certain cars. Also, apparently he couldn't drive manual.
Okay. Wait, at his age?
I mean, that's the case for almost any American, so that's not that surprising.
Yeah, I've seen multiple...
At his age?
Yeah, that is a surprise, actually, regarding his age. But I have seen multiple memes or multiple images of signs at valets or valet parking lots which said no manuals.
Oh. Huh.
Or no stick shift, as they call it there. Because apparently you are not allowed to fondle the stick at the center of your car. Because it will make people mad.
You
Because...
really have a way with words here, Shul.
Yeah. If I pull the handbrake, I pull on my stick. I pull my stick up. And then the car stops moving. Unless I... Like, the funny thing is, even though my car has quite little power, it still manages to pull through its own handbrake.
That's just because the handbrake sucks.
I guess so.
That's really not that much of an achievement.
It's just general car things. Also, are we gonna lose here? Yes, we are. But like, not being able to drive manual to me just seems like a skill issue. It's like, I mean, we're from Europe, so here it's common to just learn how to do it.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not mandatory. Because you can
I
just
don't
learn
understand
automatic.
people that choose not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, automatic drives great, but manual is just a lot more fun.
I mean, apart from a couple hills, which there aren't a lot of here, but there are multiple... Also, it's going to be another challenge. This time a more fun one.
Oh, my engineers suck, and I have not used yet. The only tower I've remotely upgraded is the Ninja. The other ones I have not used.
It's easy mode, so should be fine.
Well, I guess let's see what this guy does.
But like, the fun thing about a couple hills which I've noticed is people tend to really stop up close. Like, some people do not understand that a manual means you're going to be rolling back on a hill slightly. Not a lot, it just means slightly. It ain't much, but it doesn't even have to be anything if you can do it properly, if you can drive manual. Like, if you know that you sort of have to slightly lift your clutch already in order to get to the biting point, then apply a little bit of throttle so you can keep your so you don't stall. Then only then really start. You know, if you then get a green light instead of a red one, you then press in your throttle a little bit more, and off you go, while slowly letting go of your clutch. It's not that difficult. It just takes practice. And each car is different in that, which also sort of sucks. With the fact that each single car is... or each Like, not just model, like an older model versus a more modern car. No, every single car has a slightly different way of acting with the clutch. Especially when they have a couple 100,000 kilometers on them. You know, that means it's gonna be wear and tear. That it's gonna be a bit. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit weird to drive sometimes. And I've driven with multiple different clutches, and so have all of us. Considering the Kia has a wildly different way of driving than my Twingo, especially regarding the clutch itself. But hey.
So, alright. I have engineering news.
Engineering
Or
news?
more just funny shit to laugh about.
What?
So, actually there's two. Because two of our clients have ideas that we are telling them it's not happening. And for obvious reasons. And they've just decided that, nah, it will happen. So, one of them is really enthusiastic about an idea. And the idea that he has is pretty fun. But the way he wants it is not gonna work. So what the idea is, it's like a surfing thing. And basically the idea is that the water sort of goes around and then, you know, so on the top there's like a sort of artificial wave.
Yeah.
Right? And then his idea is that on the other side,
I cannot
the
reach
water
it.
is like, you know, falls down through the thing and then it gets filtered. Well, okay, number one, he wants a prototype of this next week. Which, nah. Second, he wants this thing to filter at a size of 0.2 millimeters. So basically, the filter has to have holes that small, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's an issue with that, and that is that SolidWorks does not like to render that many holes.
Oh, actually, I've done this in Inventor before. Yeah, no, it sucks.
So, we're just not even gonna try because we've done something very similar before, and it just became so laggy that we were like, we are not doing this again.
Well,
And now
you
this
don't
person
have
wants
to
way
model
more.
it all.
If we want to import it into a program that be able to test it, yes, we
for
would.
force calculations.
Yes.
Yeah, but you can just calculate it like any other plate. You're just gonna have to make sure that like your internal stresses do not exceed the basically the smallest cross section within your plate. So you're very limited in the amount of force it can handle.
Yeah. So, anyway, so there's that one. There's technically even more to that one because he also wants to do that all with one filter when it clearly should be 3 to then like build up to the tiniest one so that it doesn't break if there's like bigger stuff in it, right?
Yeah, not like a small little pebble, maybe, or like a small chunk of dirt.
Yeah.
Just wrecks the small filter.
Yes. So there's that. But then there was the one from today. And holy shit. It's a request we've had multiple times before. And that's because on paper, it's a beautiful idea. The idea is this person has, you know, a circle of water. And then you put in, you know, a, what's it called in English? Not a pump, like the opposite of a pump, you know, to take
Generator.
energy from the water, yeah.
turbine.
But of course, for this, there needs to be a height difference, because water doesn't flow if there's no height difference. So...
Oh yeah, if you only want to use gravity, then yes.
So... But he was like, nah, it will be fine. And then we were like, no, it won't. And then suddenly, no, there were 3 meters, and the whole thing can be put in vertically. That still does not work. It needs to be.
Brother, if you have a large cross section and narrow that down, right? So you get a Venturi.
That's
effect.
not what I'm talking about.
No, but can you get like a generator working from that without needing height per se?
No.
Because you would build up pressure.
I feel like you have to go to a small tube from an entire river of water.
Now let me just continue what this guy wants, right? Because his idea is so it would go down on the one end, and then he's gonna pump it back up.
So he wants to. Does he want to use the electricity generated by the turbine?
That's where the complete vertical is a problem, because that's not how a pump works. It needs at least 22 degrees to be effective.
Oh yeah, screw pumps that we're talking about here.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Any other pump, like most other pump types, would actually work with this.
Yes, but they are.
No, because you would lose the energy you're generating.
Yes, so that's the other thing. You're pumping. If you pump that water up, that is not gonna make up. You know, like the energy you're getting from it is not gonna make up for the energy that you're losing to pump it back up. That's just not how physics work. But this guy literally said, like, yeah, I know about physics, but...
As soon as you hear the word "but," that should already tell you.
Joule, for 20 centuries.
So, yeah, this guy apparently has been working on this for 18 years and is gonna apparently defy physics.
So my man is this dedicated that he is willing to defy the laws of physics to get what he wants. Now that's dedication. Yeah, I mean, at least you have work to do.
Like, I don't know if I'd be happy with that, if that's the work.
Well, you'd rather have to tell people.
With a customer than an actual job.
Yeah, but dealing with a customer means you still get to do something instead of just sitting around all day, basically with nothing to do. And the little work that you have...
I'd rather have that than having to deal with a customer.
Well, to a certain point, you eventually want to deal with a customer. Just to do at least something, because I'm slowly reaching that point already. Where I have nothing to do. And at that point, what even do you want to do? Like, I want to do my engineering bit, or at least, you know, the stuff that I've been doing, which is putting text boxes on PDF files to say where shit needs to go. Very important to do, sort of boring.
It doesn't sound like engineering, though.
It is more the...
doing engineering at this point.
It is more the preparation part. They want to put me on more software engineering, but they don't really have the time for that right now, because, of course, they don't.
Well, what I would recommend is just start learning programming in the time that you're doing nothing then.
Yeah. That might actually be a solid idea.
Just make yourself useful if they can't.
Yeah, the thing is, if they don't have work for me, then why did they need people in the first place? Because they seem quite stressed and somewhat overworked, and then I indicate, yo, Do you guys have anything to do? And then they don't have anything to do. What kind of double-edged thing? What kind of trick is this where I'm basically just awaiting a job? It's scuffed, but as long as they are willing to pay me and I'm not getting fired, should be fine. And so far, I haven't gotten any complaints that I'm doing nothing, so we're still good. Although although I'm tomorrow just gonna ask, like, is there any work I can do maybe on other projects, or can we start at least with the learning of the actual engineering, so that I can be productive instead of what I'm currently doing. You know, just asking to see if they are willing to provide me. But that's gonna be for tomorrow. Or at least Wednesday. Because, you know, this whole thing is recorded on a Tuesday and released on a Saturday if I remind myself to do the thumbnail. Yeah. It's sort of scuffed. So that's something I often forget. Like, oh yeah, I still need to do the thumbnail. And then, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow, oh yeah, I still need to do the thumbnail. And rinse and repeat till... oh yeah, now it's Saturday morning, but I've already planned something. Oh well, I guess I have to upload it without a thumbnail and then add the thumbnail in post. I may or may not have done that multiple times.
Already gone then. It's after post. Which is weird because post is a past tense.
Post.
So it's post.
Yeah, it's post. Yeah. It's weird.
Post.
But yeah, I need to keep on top of that a little bit better. But I guess that's what happens when you have a 9-to-5 job, which I'm actually thinking. The longer I'm at the company, the more I'm thinking I should probably go for a 4-day work week. Purely for the ability to do something during a weekday instead of having to wait for the weekend. And some things often start like the day of, like on, let's say they start on Monday, I can only reach that on Saturday, meaning I'm missing an entire week. And that means you miss out on some stuff, but if I can, with still the correct pay, because, you know, I'm willing to accept a little bit of a pay, like a hit to my amount, because of course you're doing less work, so it's pretty much expected to be paid less. Or they pay me.
You just get paid what they told you were gonna get paid, no?
Yeah, but if you get an hourly wage, right? Which is normal to get paid hourly.
Hello, I cannot select my ninja. It's covered by the raptors. That's slightly annoying.
Like, I do less hours, so I then expect a little bit less pay, or they pay me the same amount due to inflation. Like, just pay me the same amount as before, and I work 1 day, and I work 8 hours less per week. Thank you very much. I'm willing to accept that. Of course, companies. I'm not sure if the company would agree with my terms, but That's for them to decide if they want to. I also have gotten another job offer today because LinkedIn exists. And for some reason, they like to send a certain company, I'm not going to name it, this, like, for the second time, have someone send me an actual, like, straight up job application. And that, but I'm like, the pay is slightly better, but it is a job with a bit more responsibility than I currently have. So then you have to think of the payoff. Do I want to get more responsibility right now in exchange for more pay, or do I want to accept the less pay and, you know, I'm not even going to stay at this job for a couple of years still. But having constant job applications from a platform which is well known as just a LinkedIn is basically the Reddit for employed people.
I wouldn't know. I'm not on LinkedIn.
You can check that. It is likely to be true. It's full of people that, you know, that just have this very long job title for the most basic of positions. Because why wouldn't you? It's all just very complicated and very business oriented, but it's slowly turning more and more into a sort of Facebook. So it's something I would somewhat stay away from unless you're actively looking for a job. Or if you want to do some networking. Because I said, I've got multiple job offers already. All both working like with the energy with the energy sector, because we still have a massive energy shortage. Or at least not a shortage, the electrical grid is not what it's supposed to be here. Like, new buildings can't be built because the grid is overloaded.
Well, new buildings also can't be built because we're not allowed to build them. That's.
Yeah, but even if you could build them, we can't supply the power.
We could. We can.
Like,
just yes, we can.
Yeah, we are allowed to build them, but it's just to the point where the electrical grid can't handle it. So even if you could, you still can't. Which is concerning somewhat. Like, no, you can't have that office building because we can't give power to it. It's bad. And, you know, they're looking for engineers, you know, like us, to solve that issue. And sadly, I'm not available at the moment. And I've told them once, and I've now told them twice. I'm willing to tell them potentially another time. Like, I'm still, even though it's somewhat annoying, I'm still going to be polite about it. I'm still going to politely send them a message, send a response like, thank you for the opportunity, but I'm going to have to decline because of this and this reason. Good luck with the job search. Something along those lines, you know. If you want to remain professional, you politely decline the offer. It isn't difficult to do, it is just something you can easily spend like 5 minutes. Luckily, I've had those 5 minutes. Because, you know, otherwise I didn't really have any work to do anyway, so might as well spend some time with that.
Joel,
Yes.
you know, in life, you could also not complain.
Yeah, but complaining is a lot more fun, especially when people don't use their fucking indicators.
Yeah, but then life feels so negative.
Yeah, but complaining about indicators is funny. Like, it is something that actually somewhat pisses me off every time I see it happening. Like, just how difficult is it for people to understand that using your indicator is of importance?
Why did we go to traffic complaining again?
Because that's also
When did this happen?
that's also a complaint that I like to do. Traffic complaining.
Maybe it's time to just end the episode.
Hold on, let me check some more news. News app.
We finally started actually checking if there was news to report.
Well, I did check beforehand. Like, that's how I knew stuff about the retirement age, because I literally saw it on the news before I went to my room to start the podcast.
After we asked you to come do the podcast.
Yeah, I still had to clean my rabbit's toilet, and his water was frozen, so as I was trying to refresh his water, he walked out of his cage again. Because, you know, you have to open the door to put the bowl of water into the thing. Yeah. Speaking of, there is actually an article, like about the electrical grid. Like, we build new housing, but there's just not enough electricity to power them. Well, there is. It's just that the grid isn't built for it, which, in my opinion, could be solved with stuff like solar power, or potentially
No, solar power is not sustainable for large scale.
not large scale, but for like house scale.
Yes.
Which also would relieve some stress off of the electrical grid, because there would be less, you know, less power that that is required from the grid itself, and more power that can be pulled from the actual panels at home. It's a win-win situation for everyone. The only downside would be is something that has been slowly getting away, slowly being removed, is the energy contracts that stated that if you were to have solar panels installed and you would generate more than you would use, you would get your money back on the power you sent back into the grid. They used to be a thing, but they've changed that.
Yeah.
For somewhat obvious reasons, of course. You generate a lot of power. Oops. You are now rich.
Oh no, we can make the people rich.
Oh no, we made people that don't have millions rich.
Oh no, the
Oh
VVD
no.
was too effective.
Oh, the VVD problem. Like, they are struggling for money right now.
Yeah, which is quite ironic.
Yeah, especially with their slogan. But we've already talked about that one, which I found really ironic. That their slogan was basically like bringing peace to your wallet, basically something along those lines. It's difficult to translate into English. Like, rust in je portemonnee. How do you translate that to
Having
English?
no
Is that
money
actually
trouble.
what it is?
They had a slogan which said "rust in je portemonnee," which I just don't know how to translate that into English.
Have no worries about it. Have no financial trouble, basically.
Well, that's not entirely true, because basically what you could also see it as is, yeah, of course my wallet is very calm because there's nothing in it anymore. Like, you do not realize how quickly welfare costs can rack up if you have to pay. Like, one of my colleagues had a problem during Christmas. He had a teeth that was knocked out of his mouth, or at least an accident, which meant, new tooth. That was like $5,000 with insurance. Another thing, I bought new glasses, which they're gonna be in like next Thursday. Usually you get some insurance money for that. However, like, they couldn't find my insurance there, so I was like, alright, no big deal. It can be done in post by simply giving me the invoice, and I send the invoice to the insurance company. Insurance company deals with it, decides if I get paid. Well, they've decided. And what they've decided is, fuck you, you're not getting any compensation.
Aren't they legally required to?
Usually it's once every 3 years, but it might not be within... No, actually, of course I'm not getting it. I only have the basic package. And apparently, eyesight is not necessary for humans. Because it isn't in the basic package.
Dude, we don't even compete with that one shrimp on how many colors we could see. Why would eyesight be important for us?
What about people that need glasses to see, which they potentially now can't afford? Because rising costs, meaning they have to either postpone when they get glasses, which can also worsen eyesight, or they just don't get glasses at all and continue going through their life basically being blind. Like, I got a buy one get one free deal on my glasses because yes, that exists for glasses.
I know.
Usually they have deals like that. And I got like one normal pair and one pair of sunglasses because, they're surprisingly nice to have. And well, let me tell you, I paid a total of 510 euros for both. So I sent the invoice to my insurance company. Insurance company got back at me today and said, yeah, you ain't getting anything from us. Which sucks. Because eyesight is important for any functional member of society. Yet greedy insurance company says no. Because no, apparently. Okay, I tell them I'm slightly annoyed by that. But simply
No.
an insurance company denying basic human rights.
I did not pick up on your annoyance there.
Oh no, wait, that's pretty normal these days.
That's probably why we don't notice it.
Well, you don't know. You often don't notice your eyesight getting worse. That's the funny thing. You don't notice it getting worse until you are wearing glasses and you're like, oh, I can now see.
No, you can't. That was the problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, but once you put glasses on, you're like, oh wait, apparently I could see all this time if I would just worn glasses.
You wouldn't be wearing glasses if you could see, no?
Yes, but you don't notice your eyes are getting worse, and then all of a sudden you get your eyes checked, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, improvement. And those eyesight tests are surprisingly easy to do. Like, it is just you sit in a room. They
Okay.
basically ask you which one looks better, 1 or 2, and then you say which one is better if it's 1 or 2, and then they continue on with the test until you've done everything. That's when they say either, well, it's fine, still fine, or they say it's gotten slightly worse. In my case, where it has gotten slightly worse, which was to be expected in my opinion, so I'm not too bothered by it. But I'm still slightly annoyed that I'm not getting paid for it. Even like if it would be 150 euros, that's still some compensation that you can get. But what else? What else do we have? The launch of the Artemis 2 rocket, heading for the moon, has been postponed due to problems. Because apparently NASA is working on getting to the moon again.
Yeah, only they suck at it.
Well, they have 3 stages, Artemis 1, 2, and 3. They're trying
Why
to...
are all of them named after Greek gods? Like Artemis, Apollo?
I have no idea, but what the current plan is with Artemis 2 is
That's for world building.
they go up, like they basically go around the moon and then swing back to Earth to eventually like if everything goes to plan, they plan to do a build a colony on the moon.
But will they also steal the moon?
I don't know, but we have we as Dutch people can do the funniest shit imaginable.
Say gekoloniseerd.
Yes. We can
How
colonize the moon.
That is so funny.
Yes.
Let me remind myself how funny that is while laughing.
I know it's somewhat of a bad joke, but still.
I've laughed. To the specified needed amount. Okay.
The specified needed amount, which is nothing. Which is to be expected. But that has been postponed. Then we have Chinese with the door handles. Yeah. Oh yeah. Funny thing. ICE agents in Minneapolis are gonna get body cams. So we're gonna get a lot of incidents with, oh yeah, the body cam was turned off.
What body cam?
Exactly. The body cam was accidentally turned off because then you can't see the abuse. Because of course that is important. Hiding all the problems that you've created. And of course the weather in the Netherlands has been somewhat abysmal.
Do you not have the level 5 ship?
The carrier, it is already built.
Yes. Where is it?
To the left. It's on the left side.
I cannot see it.
Well, then you might need glasses. May I recommend getting a better insurance
you have 3
package?
ships in the middle, right?
It's not in the middle, it's towards the left.
Oh no, it's there.
If you can read this, you don't need glasses.
Yeah.
But I can't read it. I, cannot see it.
There isn't really anything apart from accidents because people in the Netherlands don't know how to drive. When it's slightly slippery out there. Like, yes, we, put salt on the roads. We do all that and stuff, but people are still somewhat stupid. With somewhat, I mean quite stupid. You don't underestimate people's stupidity. Because you will always be surprised by how dumb people actually are. It's not even funny. Like, there's a reason shampoo bottles have instructions.
I guess so, yeah. I never thought about that.
Like, there's a reason people saying don't rub it into your eyes. And that reason is quite clear, but yeah. Because it's just like, oh no, it's slightly slippery. Well, time to immediately slide off the road. Or what one person did, because they thought it was funny, they drove their pickup truck up some stairs. Then got stuck, tried to back out, like they couldn't make the turn at the top of the stairs. Tried to back down again. Got stuck there. And then the driver simply left the truck there.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah. It is just bad. Why have you done that? I'll look away for 5 seconds. And unless you
the thing is, I had like 33 monkeys that I need to get rid of. And
I
it
have
feels like a waste to
75.
not use them.
76.
Yeah, then why are you not using them? They're free monkeys. If you just put like a couple of those super
Super Monkey fan
monkey
clubs.
fan clubs in there, then it's actually usable. The thing is, I don't even know if I have that. Oh no, I do. Oh. I should probably get this one to this one though, considering.
But do we have any? I don't really have any other news. Do you guys have any other news?
Nope.
Because
No, not really.
Because that then leaves us with one thing left to say. And that is that we are not experts.
But we were here.